very strange things are happening in the market right now. They're not sustainable. They're going to correct. And yet, I'm still bullish on.
We're welcoming Ross Beaty to the table of Equinox Gold Corp and Emeritus Chairman. Thank you, Ross.
You're welcome.
Happy to have you here. How are you enjoying the conference so far?
I love it. It's a very buzzy feeling. I showed up yesterday morning, at 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning, and there were like 2,000 people here. Who knows how many? Thousands and thousands. And It's just been incredible. And it's been a real, at least for me, a bit of a love fest. Because I can tell you there's been at least 20 people that have come up to me and said, thank you for making me a millionaire.
Right. Wow.
And I think that's really a rare sort of a thing. It just happens that, Equinox Gold has almost tripled in the last 8 months. And all of a sudden now it's like a $18 billion company. And actually it has made a lot of people a lot of money, which is very cool. Mm-hmm. So that's a lot of fun. I keep telling them, it wasn't me that made you the money, it was you that made you the money, because you had the courage to take the risk to invest in this company and be part of our journey to build a really, really big, profitable, scale, large gold mining company from almost nothing 8 years ago.
Well, yeah.
And that's what we did, so yeah.
A lot of success you've had.
Yeah, it's been good.
And in Pan American Silver Corp.
Yep.
You were saying earlier it's the second biggest company in BC, maybe?
Yeah, I just hit the mark as the second largest company in BC by market cap after Wheaton. That was number one. We're number two. Pan American's number two. I think Teck was number three, and so on. There's a bunch more after that, but it's very, very gratifying. They're both big companies now.
Yeah,
really
a lot
fun
of
to
hard
build.
work went into all of it, I'm sure.
Other people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true, because Pan American today has, I think, 26,000 employees. Equinox Gold had 16,000 employees from zero 8 years ago. We just sold some mines in Brazil, so we're a little bit fewer than that now. Like right now, the deal just closed last Thursday. But if you think of all those people and their families and the communities that work around those mines, if you think of them, literally that comes to hundreds of thousands of people. And so for me, that's a big, very satisfying thing that comes out of this mining industry when you have a successful mine builder and a big company in this game. You're really supporting an awful lot of people's families for a very long time. It's very cool.
You were on yesterday's opening panel, actually.
I know.
What were some of your takeaways from that?
The place was jammed at Sunday morning at 8:30 when most people should be in bed asleep. That was my first takeaway, that there's a lot of interest in the space. Where the timing right now is pretty remarkable. We're at record highs for gold, for silver, for copper, for God knows what other commodities. A very, very active equity market right now. A year ago, I was sort of whining the fact that the metals had run, but the stocks were still in the flat, and there was this big disconnect. That disconnect's gone. So the equities have come up a lot. A lot of stocks have done really, really well, particularly the producers, but even some of the juniors here have doubled, have tripled, have gone up fivefold. It's really a nice time to be in this industry. We just have to remember, it's not going to last. We have to kind of make hay while the sun shines, and prepare for the downturn, because it will happen.
Right. Everyone's been speculating on timing of where we're at in this bull run in the market, in the bubble.
Yep.
What's your perspective?
When you have record prices, I can tell you for sure we're not at the bottom of the market. Now, are we at the top? I guess my prediction is probably for silver, yes, and not for gold. I think gold fundamentals are very strong. Mm-hmm. For the other metals like copper and zinc and all the other metals that are important, nickel, I think they're strong, but they're not going to double. I think that the big run has happened, but I think something like copper is going to be strong for a long time as well. The fundamentals are great, but of course black swans happen, bear markets happen, things change without anybody realizing they've changed until they've already changed, and it's kind of too late to sell. So I've just lived through so many cycles that I've seen that. Everything's great, everybody's predicting higher and higher and higher, and all of a sudden they're lower. And oh my God, I should have sold. I wish I'd sold.
Right. Something you touched on briefly was nickel.
Yes?
We haven't heard many people talk about nickel.
Well, it's just a metal, nickel, lithium, cobalt, there's so many metals that are trading at pretty good levels, but every metal's different. Every single metal has different supply fundamentals, different demand realities, and you cannot paint everything with the same brush. You've got to look, even gold and silver, they're different metals. They behave differently, and even though right now, they've both had especially silver's had this speculative froth that's driven silver parabolic. It was up $13 this morning. I mean, I've never seen that in my career, and I've been a silver student for 30 years. That even when the Hunt brothers cornered the silver base back in 1979, that didn't happen then. So very strange things are happening in the market right now. They're not sustainable. They're going to correct, and yet I'm still bullish on things like gold, copper, long term. Fundamentals are great.
So when you're talking about the correction, is that something you foresee in the next?
Like right now.
It
could be tomorrow. Could be next week. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't know. I mean, nobody can break the top, but like I said, I know it's not the bottom. That I can tell you for sure. So that sort of sounds flippant, but even the incredible thing is, even if silver were to go down by half, $50, $55, you're still dealing at levels that are extraordinarily profitable for silver mining companies, really great for silver explorers. Same with gold. If gold were to go $2,000 an ounce back to $3,000, most companies are still making pretty healthy margins at that price. So it's still a pretty happy time.
Right.
And I just don't see that happening. With silver maybe, but I don't see that happening with gold.
So
continue going strong.
pretty happy time for silver stocks.
Pretty happy times for gold, silver, copper, most of the companies here. There's a lot of money in the system. People can finance. People are getting rewarded for good real results, for good company building. Some companies are being taken out. There was a big Canadian gold mining company that was bought by a Chinese company this morning for $4.5 billion.
Oh, wow.
Allied Gold. So things are happening. Yeah,
Deals are getting
a lot
done.
of wealth is being created.
Speaking of things happening, do you have any projects you're working on for 2026?
2026. Well, Equinox Gold is always going to be very, very active. We've got a huge amount of growth built into the company right now. We're going to be working on that. Hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars spent on that. We had $1.5 billion US in debt a couple of months ago. We should be debt-free, net debt-free by the end of this quarter.
Wow.
How's that?
Wow.
That is impressive.
That's impressive. So,
Turnaround.
yeah, huge. So there's that. That's on the Equinox side. I've been working on a project in Poland now for 14 years, I think, in a private company, and we're probably going to take that public in Q2.
Exciting.
It's a copper-silver deal, so we'll see what happens there. It's going to be called Lumina Metals. I've had a whole group of companies in the Lumina group. This is our 10th company, I think. So we'll see what happens there. If we can take that public and see what the valuation should be, it should be pretty good. So yeah, that's my big stuff for 2026.
That's pretty huge. You've been working on it for 14 years.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
really not
Not willingly, believe me. That's a separate story.
Yeah.
For those investors looking for, your outlook on 2026, your opinion, if your opinion is to have gold, silver, copper, uranium in your portfolio for the years to come, what would you say?
Gold is good, should be a core position. Copper, probably a core position. Uranium, probably a core position. Uranium fundamentals are very, very good right now. And I'd be less, at these prices, I'd be less interested in silver. I would tend to sell my silver now and buy it back when the correction happens.
Okay.
But, the truth is the winds are blowing pretty fairly for the whole minerals business right now.
Right.
There's a lot of interest in it. It's politically acceptable again. There's a lot of money in the system. It's just a really good time to be in this game, and a lot of the companies here, and they're being spoken of on the stage here, they're all going to do well. It's going to be I think it's going to be another very, very good year in 2026.
There's still a lot of room in copper to grow, correct? 'Cause it's still pretty low.
Yeah, the price isn't going to do anything in the copper price, but $6 is already a record price, and just if it stays there for a while, it's going to make copper companies just a bushel of money.
When you say a
or
while,
2 bushels.
What's a while? 5 years?
No, I don't know. I don't know what is a while. It's a good question. Yeah, exactly. You tell me.
No crystal ball.
No clue.
No, nobody has a clue. I mean, you can say it's got good legs. but sometimes they can turn into bad legs very quickly. I mean, things happen, right?
Yeah, of course.
COVID happens. Financial crisis happen.
Russia,
Russia happens. The AI bubble could blow up and everything is going to go down for a while. So the outlook is promising. People love it. There's a ton of speculative money out there. It's a risk-on business, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think Jay Martin's done a wonderful job over the years. I knew his dad. He began it, and Jay's just taken it to a whole different level. I'm sorry he's not around right now. I know he had a bit of a family issue, but I just have a lot of respect for what he's done, and I love the fact that Vancouver's embraced the conference here. A lot of people have come year after year. Like I said yesterday, really at that podium thing, it was like a love fest because. The fact is Equinox has had a really good year. It's made a lot of people money, but these are people who heard the story back 8 years ago when we founded the company. And I come here every single year and tell them the same sort of thing. Gold is good. We're trying to build a big company. And now we've sort of done it. We've sort of really delivered. So I'm really happy about that. Yeah.
Accomplished the dream.
And it's nice to have all these retail investors here to participate in that.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for your time.
All right. Nice to meet you too.
Thank you so much.